This first doorbell camera footage was taken in broad daylight. A man in at least his 20s is seen selling candy door to door. The homeowner with the camera would open the door for the man. She would then proceed to make a purchase, with the actual transaction itself being shown. But shortly after, 3 more men revealed themselves. They were armed and took advantage of the open door by robbing the woman in her own home. The whole operation was a setup, with the man selling the candy being in on it. From the start, the intention was to gain the homeowner's trust to get her to open her front door so that they could rob her at gunpoint. The men swiped some of her belongings and later rushed off. A few minutes before this footage was taken, a nearby house's doorbell camera would capture the same man, again seemingly attempting to sell candy. Although, being suspicious, this homeowner wouldn't open the door. Directly after this encounter, the man is shown going up to the house across the street to make another attempt. But this homeowner would also not open the door. The men involved were never caught by police. This footage was captured on the night of March 7th, 2019. Shown is a man stepping on a house's front porch and emptying an entire yellow fuel container just in front of the door. The man then attempts to light the fuel using a small lighter. After failing to catch the fuel on fire, the man gives up and just walks away. As it turns out, he had mistakenly used diesel fuel rather than regular gasoline. And while gasoline is extremely flammable, diesel fuel is much less so. Had the man used gasoline, and he would have no doubt started the house, along with himself, on fire. In the house at the time was a mother and her 2 children. When the mother saw the footage, she would call the police, who would later identify and arrest the man in his house just across the street. The woman claimed she didn't know the man, and had no idea why he would want to harm her and her family. When questioned why he did it, the man claimed he had seen a ghost and was trying to get rid of it, suggesting he was most likely under the influence of something. He was later charged with attempted homicide and arson. On February 2, 2022, a contractor in Houston was working at a townhome. At around 6 p.m., the contractor claimed an unknown man that was armed and wearing a mask suddenly appeared inside the townhome with him. The unknown man proceeded to force the contractor into a bathroom, where he then tied him up by bounding his feet and hands. Afterwards, he rummaged through the townhome for over an hour, all the while listening to a police scanner to verify the police weren't on their way. And this footage captured exactly that. After taking multiple items belonging to the homeowners, who were out of town at the time, the man found the contractor's keys and drove off with his truck that now contained everything that he had stolen. The man was never found by police, however the stolen truck was. It was found 2 days later, unoccupied in a nearby restaurant parking lot. But ever since, nothing else has been found. This doorbell footage was recorded in the early morning hours of July 26, 2019. While it's not visible in the footage itself, the house just next to the one with the camera had been completely set on fire. And because of how close the houses were, this made the house with the camera at risk of also being set on fire. Shown in the video are some of the other neighbors desperately trying to warn the homeowners of the threat.
Hey guys, yeah. If their house is on fire.
I know, I'm knocking on the door. There's nobody answering. Can I help you?
The house next door to you is on fire. Your house is almost on fire.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Fortunately, the loud banging was enough to alert the homeowners to the situation. From there, they would get all the children out of the house as quick as possible. They were then brought to one of the neighbors' houses across the street, far enough away from the fire. But other than some damage to the trees and part of the garage, the house with the doorbell camera was ultimately left untouched. This footage captured an unknown man walking up to the front door of this house. Right away, he leans against the door and tries to open it. He doesn't even knock, but the doorbell camera alerts the homeowner of motion being detected, so the homeowner still gets up to see who it is. Before asking any questions, the homeowner opens the door to see what the man wants. Then, without any hesitation, the man steps inside the house. Naturally, the homeowner saw this as a red flag, and shortly after tells the man he needs to leave. But he didn't listen, forcing the homeowner to have to physically push him out of the house.
Hello. Hi. How far are you, sir?
Who are you?
Everybody knows how far are you?
Good. You need to leave.
How far?
Out there.
What's the reason stairs?
What?
What's the soul stairs here?
Come on, where are you going?
What's the stairs here?
Goodbye, you.
As the door is being closed on him, the man forcefully punches the glass on the door. But fortunately, the homeowner was still able to close and lock it. The man then continues to stand at the door trying the door handle before the video ends. What this man had actually planned is unknown. This video was taken on the night of August 10th, 2021. A woman is seen returning home from work. She unlocks her door and walks in, but before she can close it again, a man that was armed enters her home just behind her. Shortly after, another man can be seen. The two would demand the keys to the woman's car, and after she gave it to them, they would run back outside to where her car was parked, where they would then drive off with it.
Vamos pra fora. Oh, don't move. Don't stay, don't.
Police were immediately called, and only a couple hours later, they would find the stolen vehicle at a stoplight. They attempted a traffic stop, but the vehicle fled. The high rate of speed and rainy conditions that night made following it almost impossible, so police had to give up. The vehicle is yet to be found, but the two involved in the theft would be found only 2 days later. The one that confronted the woman was charged with home invasion, armed robbery, and motor vehicle theft. This happened in Phoenix, Arizona. It's the middle of the night, and this was captured on one homeowner's doorbell camera. A man armed with an actual sword, a hammer, and an axe walks up to the front porch. He then proceeds to steal multiple items outside of the house. At one point, a car drives by, but the man completely ignores it. After a while, he walks off with his bag filled with stolen items, the sword still being held under his arm. While at work, a man in Florida would receive a message on his phone saying someone rang his doorbell. When he checked the live feed, this is what he saw. A man wearing a hat, sunglasses, and bandana is standing at the front door. And disturbingly, he's holding a handgun in clear view of the camera. The doorbell's audio system would ask the man to leave a message for the homeowner, and he does. He claims he lost his dog and wants to look in the homeowner's backyard for it.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
Hey, just wondered if you guys saw a lost puppy. He's a pit bull, blue nose. I believe he came in your yard, but I don't want to look without your permission.
Hey, you at the wrong house, dog.
Alright.
After the homeowner came on the speaker and confronted the man, he quickly left with no questions asked. As it turns out, this wasn't the only house he did this to. Police would state that they had gotten multiple calls with the same description of the man and the exact same story. The man was most likely trying to get homeowners to open their door, where he could then threaten them with his gun, and from there do who knows what. In this specific case, he most likely didn't realize the doorbell camera could see his firearm from where he was standing, which explains why he would be holding it out in the open by his side. Police weren't able to identify the man because of everything he had covering his face. Therefore, he has yet to be caught.